Nadia Padovani buried her husband. Then she walked back into his world and refused to let it die with him. She was standing in the middle of her grief. And instead of doing what he told her to do, sell everything, take the money, walk away, she decided to keep his team alive. Not because it was rational, not because she had a plan, because walking away felt like losing him twice. She had no experience running a MotoGP team. She had spent her career as a nurse. And in the 5 years since that decision, the team she refused to let die produced Bastianini's first win. 3 victories with Marc Marquez and Alex Marquez as championship runner-up. An independent team on customer machinery. No factory support, no safety net. Just results that teams with unlimited budgets would envy. Now, 5 years later, Gresini Racing has no confirmed riders for 2027. No confirmed manufacturer, and the woman who rebuilt this team at a funeral is fighting for its survival all over again. And, this time, it's not grief she's fighting. This is not a story about a bad season. It is a story about a trap that was set before Fausto even died. If you enjoy real MotoGP analysis, the politics, the contracts, the people behind the results, subscribe. Now back to what is really happening to Gresini Racing in 2026. Because the team that survived the loss of its founder is now facing something that determination alone cannot fix. Ducati decided to move Fermin Aldeguer to VR46 for 2027. Not through a negotiation with Gresini, not through a conversation with Padovani. The decision came as a surprise. It came without warning. And it left her upset, because Aldeguer's contract was never with Gresini in the first place. It was directly with Ducati, the team that developed him, built his environment, delivered his rookie win in Indonesia, had no say in where he went next. Then, Alex Marquez, who finished second in the championship on Gresini machinery last year, confirmed he was heading to KTM. His future was his own to decide. Gresini had no power over that either. 2 riders gone, no replacements confirmed, no manufacturer deal signed. Heading into the new 850 cubic centimetres era with nothing guaranteed beyond the end of this season. Because this is the part nobody tells you. Gresini never owned the things that mattered. Ducati have been vocal about wanting to keep them. Davide Tardozzi said in Brazil, "We don't want to lose them. They're a great team. We will do everything to ensure they stay with us, and I think they want to remain with Ducati. But wanting to keep a team and offering terms that make it possible are 2 different conversations. From 2027, Ducati wants satellite teams to contribute financially toward rider contracts. That model works for VR46, a global brand with Valentino Rossi's name on the door. It is a much harder equation for an independent family team. Padovani described her own approach with a clarity that explains exactly why this tension exists. "I see it as a real mission. I never thought of giving up, even in difficult times, because the urge to honour Fausto was always stronger than the urge to give up everything. A mission, not a business. And missions do not come with the commercial architecture that Ducati's new model demands." Reports from Brazil suggested Gresini may not be able to afford Ducati's machinery under the new financial terms. And Honda, who worked with Gresini from 1997 until 2014, are actively pursuing a return. 6 factory-spec bikes into the new era. Financial support that independent teams almost never receive. For Gresini, that offer is transformational. From a customer satellite paying its way onto the grid to a fully supported factory partner competing on different terms entirely. By the end of the Brazil weekend, Gresini were in conversations with Ducati, Honda and Aprilia simultaneously. 3 manufacturers, 1 team, and a decision that could define everything Nadia Padovani built next. Do you think Gresini should stay with Ducati and fight for better terms? Or would Honda give Nadia Padovani the independence and security this team actually needs? Drop your answer in the comments. But this is not a story about riders leaving. It is a story about who actually owns them. This is the structural problem Fausto Gresini understood before anyone else. Racing, as he told Nadia in his final months, is a ruthless world. What he could not have predicted was that the team bearing his name would be vulnerable, not because of results, which have been exceptional, but because of contractual architecture. The riders do not belong to Gresini, they belong to Ducati. Gresini builds the environment, develops the talent, delivers the results. And at the critical moment when the market moves, they hold none of the cards that matter. No long-term deal like VR46. No factory status. No institutional protection. Every asset they build can be moved without permission. Every relationship can be repriced beyond their reach. That is not bad luck. That is the structure of how satellite teams exist in this sport. And Gresini is the clearest example of what that costs when the cycle turns. Carlo Merlini, Gresini's commercial director, described the moment after Fausto died. The space left was so big that for some time we thought we were not going to make it. But immediately, Nadia, everyone wanted to push everything forward. The dream, the project, the legacy. They pushed it forward. They made it work. A championship runner-up and a rookie win in the same season. Results most factory teams would be proud of. And now the system they operate within is exposing exactly how little structural protection that success actually bought them. Ducati sporting director Mauro Grassilli met with Padovani in Brazil and said only this: "Everything is going well, but I cannot make comments. I will speak after Austin." That is not reassurance. That is a man buying time. And Padovani has been in this sport long enough to know what that silence means. She rebuilt this team from nothing, and the sport is telling her that means nothing. Padovani has never walked away from difficulty. She proved that at a funeral 5 years ago. But the decision she faces now is different. Then, the question was whether she had the courage to keep going. Now, the question is whether the terms on which Gresini can keep going are ones she can actually afford. Is Gresini's situation a negotiating position? Or does losing both riders and the new financial model represent a genuine threat to everything Nadia Padovani built? And what does it say about MotoGP's satellite system that a team which delivered a championship runner-up and a rookie win in the same season now has nothing secured for next year? Drop your answers in the comments. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, subscribe. There is a lot more of this coming, because she saved this team once. The question now is whether the sport will let her save it again, or take it away for good.